Good morning, friends. Happy Friday to you guys. Welcome to today's vlog. We're just sitting down and getting started on our school day. We just finished going through our catechism, and so I will link this catechism down below. Every time I show it, I get questions on what catechism we use. So this is our second year memorizing the catechism. We're just gradually building onto it. So we've gone through page 1, page 2, page 3, and we are all the way down to the one we're currently working on, what is sanctification? And all the kids, besides Wesley, he knows a number of them, but not all of them. All of the kids have memorized all of these answers. And so we just recited all of them in a row, but I think I'm going to quiz the kids on just a couple of random questions and see how they do, okay? So Zara, let's do this one. What is a covenant?
Covenant is an agreement between two or more persons.
Very good. Simeon, you're next.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a trickier one.
Okay.
Can anyone go to heaven with a sinful nature?
No, our hearts must be changed before we can be fit for heaven.
Very good. Charity, let's see. What happened to our first parents when they sinned?
Instead of remaining holy and happy, Adam and Eve sinned and made them sinful and wicked.
Good. Okay, Elijah, you're up. Let's see how you can do. I'm going to give you one of our newest ones. How could the Son of God suffer?
First, the Son of God became a man that he might obey and suffer as a man.
Very good. I am actually quite impressed, but this catechism has worked so well with the kids just learning basic theology, and so there are a lot more questions to go. I haven't even printed up the whole catechism in my book, so we were at question, 48 right now? In my book, I have printed up 66 questions, but I know that there were still a couple more pages I could have printed up as well. So it's pretty long. I will link that catechism down below. Now we're on to our unit study. We are working on living off the land. I don't know if I've really filmed much as we've been on this unit, but it's been a really good one. We are today we're doing lesson number 18 on preservation. One thing I like about this, well, for one thing, this topic is just really interesting for the kids, but I will say the amount of reading, okay, it's a little bit longer today. I was gonna say it's pretty light. Today's might be a little bit longer, but it's very light reading, like no heavy information or anything. And so the kids are quite attentive listening as I read to them. They found unique ways to store food so that they could survive the winter, drought, or famines that might come their way. They did this in 3 main ways. 1, cold storage. Do you remember learning about the frost lines in different regions in lesson 7? Depending on where they might live, indigenous peoples would dig deep holes in the ground toward the frost line and store their foods there to help them last. So here's a picture. If you guys want to look at that picture, you can see how they're, just a second.
Okay.
Simeon, did you see it?
No.
How they used cold storage just by digging under the ground there. You see that? Number 2, dehydration. Vegetables, fruits, and even meat could be dehydrated or dried to help them last through the year. Vegetables could be strung up and hung to keep them dry and accessible. Fruit might be laid out onto rocks and turned to dry it out. We finished our gather round lesson. All the kids are on a little break. They all went outside here. But on that note of our gather round curriculum, we are on, what did I say? We finished lesson 17 this morning, or was it lesson 18 we finished? I think it was lesson 18. So we only have 2 more lessons to finish before we're done this unit, and we only have 1 more unit to go. We're down to about 6 weeks left, I think, in this school year. And so I know that's later than in the US, you know, I'm watching people's content and I'm like, oh, everybody's like so close to the end of the school year and we have a bit left still, but that is normal for where we live. So where we live, all the schools are out like end of June. We start later in the year than in the States, and so we just end later as well. But it should be about, I think it's like the 10th of June or something that we plan to finish our school year. I feel like I have a lot I want to kind of say throughout this clip, so I'm like, my mind is kind of going different places at one time. So I wanted to say that we have about 6 weeks left. I'm also, at this point of the year, I'm like, okay, how much do we have left? I'm looking through our books, figuring that out. But at the same point, I am making all these plans for next year. Like, what curriculum do I want to use next year? What do I want to switch up? And just making all these plans. And at the same point, trying not to take anything away from the current school year we're on. Like I want to finish strong, but it's just easy to start thinking a lot about this next year. So that was one thing I wanted to say, but back to Gather Around and us almost finishing the unit that we're on. We have one more unit to go this school year, and I had ordered the sports and PE Gather Around unit, which I'm really excited about. I think it'll be a really good one. But our printer has been having issues for the past probably 3 or 4 months. I still use it, it still prints, but it is printing so slow. The color is not as vibrant as it should be, and it won't print double-sided. So I have been procrastinating on trying to like troubleshoot what is going on with it because it still prints. And so I have had like look into printer issues. That's exactly what I write. Look into printer issues. I've had that on my to-do list every week for probably the last at least 8 weeks. And I just haven't gotten into it. If you guys have any tips for me or any insight into what could be wrong, it is an Epson EcoTank 2760. We bought it 3 years ago, and I have told you guys often I recommend this printer, and I still do. I would not go back on my word and say I don't recommend it. I absolutely do, because we have printed a ton in these 3 years, like thousands and thousands of full color pages, and I love this printer. I would even just turn around and buy the same one again. But before I do that, I want to look into it and see if this problem is fixable. But there's no way I can print out all these books with the printer not working to print double-sided. I still recommend this one, but if you have it and have had any similar issue to this and can give me any tips on a fix, let me know. Look at this delicious pan full of pizza buns we're gonna have for lunch. You can't even see the buns down there. It's so covered in cheese and meat and stuff. Pizza buns, yes! I love when I'm talking like on camera and the kids hear and they're like, what? That's so exciting. You'd like the ham and pineapple? Pardon?
The pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Hey, I have a question for you. Look at those rosy cheeks. Oh, it's cold from playing outside. I saw you. Daddy put the, why can't I think of the word? Pedals on your bike, and I saw you riding your bike with pedals. Pardon me?
Go really far.
You went really far. I know, you're doing so well. How far did he go?
He went all the way.
Yeah.
From like this end of that front lawn,
yeah,
all the way to that end of the driveway.
Really?
Yeah, and then he stopped himself.
Wow.
From there to there.
You went that far?
Yes.
Wesley, that's so awesome. I opened this, okay, let's stop touching it. I opened this big block of cheese for
That's humongous.
yeah, it is, for our pizza. This is, I'm gonna touch it. It does look like butter. This is the huge Costco size cheese. It's a lot of lunch we're having today because Andrew's home to eat lunch with us, and also when he's home, and because you eat a lot. Well, yeah, that's kind of true too. The kids will eat this meal very well. We love when Andrew's home on school days. It's really fun to have him home. Hold on. But it makes lunch a little bit trickier sometimes. Not that he's picky or anything, but some of the really light lunches I'll have with the kids, like let's just have finger food or something like that. When Andrew's home, I'm like, okay, we need something a little bit more substantial. I just want to make something a little bit more filling. Doesn't that look so good, Sim? We're just waiting for the oven to heat up, and then that's going in. Also, let me just turn this around here and show Simeon's outfit. He's wearing shorts. I put shorts in his drawer a couple days ago here, and so now this is what happens when there's shorts in their drawers. That's what they want to wear, even though it's like, let's see here. What is it? 7.8 degrees Celsius outside. It's really not shorts weather, but that's okay. How did you feel outside in shorts?
Nice.
Pardon?
Nice.
It was nice? Okay. What did you just say to me?
I said I already ate a whole big bowl of oatmeal at breakfast. It's almost as much as Dad eats.
Yeah.
And then I had an apple. I'm still super hungry.
Yeah. So you could, and then you said to me, so I can tell
That turning into a man.
You can tell that you're turning into a man. Oh, Simeon. But that is true. I made a big pot of oatmeal. Again, Andrew was home for breakfast and I made a big pot of oatmeal thinking this is enough for everybody. And then the kids got there before Andrew and I, and they ate all of it. Like the entire pot of oatmeal that I thought was a big pot. It was all gone. Simeon is just doing some of his multiplication wrap-ups, just doing a little review here. Wes, what about you? Are you learning school with the big kids? You're getting so smart.
I learned how to do math a little bit.
Yeah, you did. And you know how to read a little bit?
And you know what 100 plus 100 is?
And you know how to write your name? You do too.
200.
Hey,
Yes, just like
right. What is 200 plus 200?
Just like 2 plus 2. No.
No.
Just like 2 plus 2.
200 plus 200 is 400.
Yeah.
Just like 2 plus 2 is 4.
Yeah.
How old are you?
4.
That's right. And what's 4 plus 4?
8.
Yeah. And what's 5 plus 5?
10.
What's 3 plus 3?
6.
Wow. What?
8.
Wesley, did you just throw that?
7.
Okay, go and pick up that apple.
She got it
No, but we need to be very gentle with those things. Pardon?
8 times 7 and she got it right.
Yes.
No, I
Simeon
almost-
asked Zara this morning. No, 8 times 7. Simeon asked Zara this morning, Zara, do you know what 8 times 7 is? And Zara, in her head, figured out what 8 times 7 was. Right? How did you figure that out? Do you still like this dress that you're wearing that you really wanted last year? Do you still like it? I actually
one that I saw.
I actually kind of thought that you would take this dress out this year and think that it was too little for you, but I'm glad you still like it. Zara has always been so small for her age, and so she's still wearing size like 5 or 6 for her clothes. But she is 7, and so she's been a little bit more conscious lately about wanting to dress older, like not like a little girl. So for instance, her rain jacket this year, she was complaining to me a couple weeks ago saying, this is so embarrassing because my jacket has like a bunny face or something on the hood. A cat, okay, it's a kitty cat face. And she's like, this is so embarrassing that it has a kitty cat face and I'm 7.
You're pretending to be hot.
Isn't that right? Am I making that up or is that true? Did you say that to me?
I said it too.
You did. Pizza's out of the oven, and then we'll have some cucumbers with it, and I'm sure some ranch for both the cucumbers and the pizzas. I basically just showed our morning today, but I think that that was a sufficient amount of footage I have for this video. Thank you for coming by and watching, seeing some of our homeschool morning. I hope that you enjoyed that. Subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content. I post a lot of homeschooling content, large family life, a lot of food content and grocery hauls and meal ideas and stuff like that. So if you want to be a part of this channel, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Bye. Get a thumbs up.
Bye.